announced that I think Paper Mario finally gets a chance.
We're gonna eventually just turn into Dragon Ball Fighter. We have nothing but Marios in the game. We already have regular Mario and Dr. Mario.
Look,
we have Luigi, who's like a secondary Mario.
Plant is in here over like a second rep for some other games. That's it. Yeah. So we got Kirby versus Wii Fit Trainer. I know I saw John Numbers lingering in the
yeah. Shout out to John Numbers. Shout out to John Numbers. Great guy.
You know what's crazy? Unfortunately for us in the like New England area, we have like 5 Wii Fit trainers, so I have to see this a little bit too often. And I'm already liking the movement and the coverage options from Sogoodpop. Really just kind of hanging back, forcing Kirby to approach. Because really, what else does Kirby have? Kirby has to get into your zone to get anything done.
Nice. Just catching him lacking too. Literally, like off the when the game started, it said go. Sogoodpop just double jump back, charged up. Salutations. Just went to the ledge. Let Kirby come to him. He's like, you gotta come to me. Like, you can't do nothing about this. Like, you're a small character with, like not the best options in the world.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. We finally got.
Oh my god! Yo,
if that inhale went off in the double KO went. Yeah, I respect it. I respect
what is going on here?
Take him out. It's like if you stayed this far back and we go to 0-0, that's all a positive stock for Kensa, because like why bother to try and win back the 80% deficit when you could just
when I could just rob you? Like come on, like I'm trying to be ignorant over here, man. I don't want to fight you. Just trying to rob you real quick.
Kensa
give me your lunch money. Give me your lunch money. You don't need it.
Honestly, I kind of like the ideas of the up Bs occasionally because you throw out a zoning option just to try and stop.
It's the best like zoning tool, like projectile that Kirby has.
Yeah, and it's a big
especially and you have to deal with the medicine ball. Like the Kirby up B will like be able to knock it away. Make yourself a little safer.
Yeah,
really dangerous.
Sogoodpop really hasn't been able to like.
But the forward tilt.
The reversal hit that forward tilt. Just having hitboxes on both sides, it's hard to actually anticipate.
True. Oh, my man was going off there.
Trying to drop the flop on him real quick. That absolutely would have been the stock.
It's Kensa 2020 out here, man. This is what we doing nowadays. We just play Kirby and we just wall out. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it worked. I got high hopes for Kensa right now.
Go ahead, Numbers. I got more DLC characters to talk about. Don't you try to talk about me like that. We had a match to start. But right now, you're seeing Sogoodpop doing an excellent job of really doing exactly what they started off, almost getting the high part of that up B with that down air.
Yeah, I mean, that was really close. I think Gigino, maybe if he had let it loose a little early, he would have caught it. But nonetheless, Sogoodpop still with a very comfortable lead. Oh, a little too low for that recovery. I mean, Sogoodpop was at a very high percentage, so it might not matter much. But just any percent really matters when you're ahead.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I think Kenza's gonna try to go for another robbery.
Yeah, and also you already see that this is one of the few times you can see Sogoodpop kind of like pushing the initiative with this like big percent lead that they have. There's no point in saying that.
He's going for the finesse. Oh no!
That was a really good delay there too with the medicine ball, because you don't want to end up getting caught on the way back up. It's like, let me just delay it for a second. But what if Kensa decides to not snap ledge and take you on the way down?
I mean, I would. Sometimes when you're at this much of a deficit, you gotta go for it, man. Go hard or go home. Right now, it's not looking the best for Kensa.
Yeah, good job for somehow Kensa consistently, never mind, holding on to these stocks for so long at high percents as Kirby. But that one finally going to be gone. I don't know if that was the definite decision, but trying to throw out the hammer.
I think this is like my favorite thing about watching pools is the fact that there's just so many wacky characters that you'll see, matchups that you would never see on a normal basis. Because at this point, a meta has been developed. We know what the good characters are and shit. But like we see Kirby and we see Wii Fit, not something you really see on a daily basis.
Yeah, this is not a very common matchup, like, ever. Like, no matter which region you're in. And it's just, we can already see just the faults that Kirby has in this matchup. Like, trying to approach safely. I'm even being a short-bodied character, you can't, like, duck under things so easily. But there you go, finally get the force smash on the back air attack.
As good as this game's been looking for Sogoodpop, Kensa has been kind of not been that far behind. The stocks were always even at one point. I mean, the percentages might not be, but the stocks have. And Kirby has the options to kind of gimmick you. And I think that's what Kensa's going for.
Yeah, Kensa
but that might steal it, though. Nice. That jab is so good, man. It barely sends you anywhere off the first 2 hits. And the second hit, if you're on the ground, it will put you in there. It will pummel you.
Yeah, and you saw it was just kind of lingering, that jab, to wait to get that neutral. And being up against a ledge like that, doesn't matter how hard you try to mash, unless you're Nairo, you're probably getting hit by that F tilt. So good, but Sogoodpop really not getting cheesed, somehow avoiding a lot of those situations where those the command grabs are going through to try and get the inhale into a, and that a lot of people wouldn't have the patience before they recovered, but because of Wii Fit's ability to like stall, is able to.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing that I feel like we need to see more from down tilt usage. I feel like down tilt is Kirby's best move outside of back air, and we haven't really seen that much at all from this first game. And that's a really big tool because there has a really high chance of tripping, and if you can react to that, you can go for a grab, you can go for a forward smash, whatever it may be. And even when the Sogoodpop's at a high percentage, we aren't seeing these down airs because when you down air, you can get a free smash attack.
Yeah.
As a confirm.
One of the things,
these are things we have.
One of the things that kind of makes it difficult for Kirby as well in this matchup is that usually most of the ways that Kirby wins is going off of 50-50s. Do they get the trip? Yeah. Do they read the spot dodge for a single hit forward air into a forward smash?
Do they try to base something out and see if a roll comes out from
you don't never get that chance against Wii Fit because they're always on the move.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we'll see what game plan Kensa decides to go for this game too, but it looks like Sogoodpop, not gonna change anything up. Just gonna keep it patient. Nice. All right, gets the first. I think it's the first grab confirm we've seen from Kensa.
Pretty much. Also, I'm kind of just get a little bit help back yourself. Trying to go for maybe a double dip on the high end.
Wow.
Of the
Oh, that was smart. Oh, look where Kirby got here.
Got the smoothest of the hair. Honestly, I really like the idea of going for this. Getting the inhale and using that because now Kirby actually has the ability to zone.
I don't know why.
Sogoodpop really needs to get rid of that.
This looks so weird, man. I think it's because of the fact that like Kirby, like the skin that Kensa's using is blue Kirby, but when he took in Wii Fit, he went white Kirby.
Kirby
with blue
wants to
shoes.
talk to the manager.
Wait, yeah, Kirby wants to.
Oh, there's the salutation on a high up B. Unfortunately, no zoning ability left, so Sogoodpop needs to stay on the move to make sure that Kirby's not able to get a hold of that again because really you saw that Kensa was trying to use a few of the sun salutations to maybe set up some zoning, but like Sogoodpop just keeping their distance.
That was nuts, man. I don't know. I think that was like one of the greatest things about Kirby was the fact that like when you inhale someone and you take their ability, you just look like them. And the characters that we have in this game just make Kirby look really wacky. But nonetheless, though, Sogoodpop, making this game look really similar to Game 1, has his lead, and Kensa not really sure how to approach right now. He's just getting stuffed out between everything that's being thrown out by Wii Fit. So this is looking like a 2-0.
Yeah, so far it's looking very difficult. Again, it's just like you're only really looking for hard reads because you can't get. So oh my god!
Oh no!
Going for the B reverse cancel to get that down air. That's something that Sogoodpop's really was just holding on to get into this game too. And I think you're right. Just not really being able to navigate around a lot of this. Trying to go for the spike.
Oh, is he
ripped enough jumps?
Oh my goodness! That was OD.
Absolutely just destructive. That was so difficult to play around because you go off stage, you commit like that, and then you get reverse edge guarded by Wii Fit so easy if you make one mistake. Ripped a few jumps, and that was all.
Yeah, man. Just like that, another. Sogoodpop will be moving on. Kensa will be going to lose. Again, not a matchup we really see often, if not ever in general. But this is one of the great things about doing polls matches. We get to see this type of stuff. It's really interesting.
Yeah, so we were talking about before. You don't really get the chance to see these characters often. It's not a normal thing to run into in bracket unless you have that character specialist out there. Granted, we're seeing a lot more Wii Fits compared to before. You see Numbers, you see Varun, you see over this way, you see Whiskey B, you see J10, and then there's so many other ones out there. Like it's surprising, but like Deep Breathing is